London, March the 16th, 2004. You are standing inside the Ritz Casino. It is one of the most prestigious gambling establishments in the entire world. Marble floors gleam under the brilliant light of massive crystal chandeliers. Elite security personnel monitor every single movement from the shadows. The atmosphere is dripping with extreme wealth and absolute exclusivity. But tonight, this perfect sanctuary of high society luxury is violently interrupted. Right now, 3 well-dressed men are being aggressively escorted across the pristine casino floor. Their wrists are locked tight in heavy metal handcuffs. Wealthy patrons stop placing their bets to stare at the bizarre spectacle unfolding before them. The lead suspect is a Croatian man named Niko Tosa. He is in his mid-30s and possesses a completely unremarkable appearance. He remains terrifyingly calm amidst the surrounding chaos and flashing security lights. Over the past 2 extraordinary nights, this quiet man walked into this legendary casino and did the impossible. He systematically destroyed the house and walked away with £1.3 million. He did not achieve this massive fortune over several grueling months or years of professional play. He completely dismantled their system in just 48 hours. He chose to conquer the one specific game that mathematical experts swear cannot be beaten. He played roulette. Casino management noticed his unnatural winning streak almost immediately. They know with absolute certainty that nobody wins that much money at the roulette table. The house always wins because the strict laws of mathematical probability guarantee their massive profits. But this quiet Croatian man kept winning spin after spin and night after night. He defied the foundational logic of the gambling industry. Thus, the furious pit bosses called the police. The responding officers are aggressively searching him right now. They pat down his tailored clothes and check deep inside his pockets. They even force him to remove his shoes on the casino floor. The investigators are desperately hunting for hidden technological devices. They expect to find tiny laser scanners designed to measure wheel speed or miniature hidden cameras. They assume he must be wearing a wearable computer capable of calculating complex instant predictions. They search for anything electronic that could possibly explain how a single man beat an unbeatable game. But the frantic search yields a completely shocking result. They find absolutely nothing. There are no hidden wires and no secret communication devices taped to his skin. There is no high-tech equipment whatsoever. The police only find an ordinary man wearing regular clothes and carrying over £1 million in high-value casino chips. The Metropolitan Police officers exchange confused glances. The elite casino management team is absolutely furious and demanding immediate answers. This entire situation makes absolutely zero logical sense to the gambling experts. The game of roulette is supposed to be the ultimate embodiment of pure random chance. A small white ball spins around a moving wheel and lands wherever physical forces decide. You simply cannot predict the chaotic outcome with such terrifying consistency. Here is the ultimate dark truth about the glamorous gambling industry that you must understand. Casinos only ever want one single winner to walk away from their tables. That winner is always themselves. When a brilliant player actually beats their rigged system, they do not just let the massive financial loss go. They will aggressively arrest you and loudly accuse you of criminal fraud. They will try to claw back every single penny. That terrifying reality is exactly what is happening to the mastermind Niko Tosa right now. He is being treated like a common thief for simply being the smartest person in the room. But how did an unknown foreigner legally cheat a billion-dollar industry out of a massive fortune? I am going to break down his flawless strategy step by step. I will show you exactly how he utilized pure intellect to win. We must start from the very beginning of this incredible journey. Niko Tosa did not just walk through the golden doors of the Ritz Casino by pure accident. He went to that specific location armed with a highly calculated plan. This audacious strategy was actually years in the meticulous making. He was not just another desperate professional gambler chasing a lucky streak. He possessed a weapon far more dangerous than loaded dice. Niko Tosa was never a professional gambler looking for a quick payout. He possessed the brilliant and analytical mind of a theoretical physicist. While the world viewed roulette as a game of pure chance, he saw something entirely different. He spent years obsessively pondering one specific and dangerous question. Is the spinning roulette wheel genuinely governed by completely random forces? The massive global gambling industry desperately needs you to believe in magic. Casino executives want players to think the bouncing ball lands wherever pure luck dictates. But this quiet Croatian genius fundamentally rejected that profitable corporate illusion. He knew that roulette is completely bound by the strict laws of the physical universe. It is merely a wooden wheel and a small ivory ball. The entire system is governed by friction and gravity and rotational velocity. These are all highly predictable physical laws that can be accurately measured. He started aggressively researching everything he could find about the mathematics of the game. He devoured complex academic physics papers and classified casino security studies. During his relentless research, he uncovered a fascinating historical secret from the 1970s. A group of brilliant physics students secretly built a tiny wearable computer. They successfully hid this primitive device inside a shoe to calculate live roulette predictions. They tested their dangerous invention in Las Vegas and actually won real money. However, using hidden electronic devices inside any modern casino is highly illegal. Those pioneering students eventually stopped before facing severe prison sentences. Tosa read their dusty research notes and experienced a massive intellectual breakthrough. What if a player did not actually need a hidden computer to win? What if a human brain could instantly process those complex mathematical calculations? He immediately purchased a full-sized professional roulette wheel and installed it in his quiet home. He spent thousands of isolated hours spinning the heavy mechanism and watching the ball fall. He meticulously timed the rotations and trained his sharp eyes to track the blurring velocity. He forced his brain to instantly calculate how aggressive friction slows the descending ball. Through this exhausting repetition, he discovered the ultimate human weakness in the casino armor. The professional dealers who spin the wheels are simply flesh and blood humans. They are not flawless machines immune to strict behavioral patterns. Many seasoned dealers unconsciously develop highly predictable physical habits over their long careers. They launch the ball with the exact same repetitive force. If a brilliant observer could accurately measure those human variables, they could predict the future. You do not need to guess the exact single winning number to become incredibly rich. You simply need to identify a specific sector or a tight cluster of neighboring numbers on the wheel. Betting on that specific targeted zone dramatically alters the underlying mathematics. A standard player faces a miserable 2% chance of hitting a single number, but applying this brilliant physics strategy shifts those terrible odds to over 15%. That represents a truly massive mathematical edge over the powerful casino establishment. Over the course of hundreds of spins, that calculated edge inevitably turns into guaranteed and massive financial profit. Tosa practiced this intense mental technique until it became absolute second nature. He transformed his biological mind into a lethal predicting machine capable of crushing any casino. But calculating velocities in a quiet living room is vastly different from a chaotic gambling floor. He urgently needed to test his brilliant theory under real pressure and flashing casino lights. He quietly visited smaller local gambling houses to test his dangerous theories with low stakes. The chaotic variables of live casinos did not shatter his extreme mental focus. He patiently observed the dealers and silently ran the complex physics equations in his head. He placed his calculated bets and began winning with terrifying consistency across the smaller venues. His revolutionary method was officially proven to be highly successful in the real world. He was no longer just a curious student exploring theoretical physics in a dark room. He was now a fully armed predator, ready to hunt the biggest prey on Earth. It was finally time to step inside the legendary Ritz Casino and break the bank. March the 15th arrives and Niko Tosa finally steps through the grand entrance of the prestigious Ritz Casino. He is accompanied by two quiet associates who blend perfectly into the wealthy crowd. They are dressed impeccably, but deliberately avoid drawing any unnecessary attention to themselves. The luxurious gambling floor is packed with elite players surrounded by flowing champagne and flashing lights. Tosa ignores the noisy slot machines and heads straight toward the elegant roulette section. He does not immediately sit down to play because he needs crucial observational data first. He stands back in the shadows and watches the different croupiers managing the spinning wheels. He is hunting for a highly consistent dealer who spins the ball with predictable rhythmic force. After several minutes of intense observation, he He finds his perfect target at table 7. The middle-aged croupier operates like a well-oiled machine with incredibly consistent hand movements. Tosa calmly approaches the busy table and takes an empty seat among the wealthy tourists. His two quiet associates spread out and sit nearby without acknowledging their brilliant mastermind leader. The experienced dealer announces the start of a new round and spins the heavy wooden wheel. Wealthy players frantically place their expensive chips on random numbers, hoping for a lucky miracle. Tosa completely ignores the betting layout and simply watches the white ball blur around the rim. His sharp eyes track the decreasing velocity as aggressive friction pulls the ball downward. He watches 3 consecutive spins without placing a single bet on the green felt. He is secretly calibrating his mental equations to match the exact physical conditions of this specific wheel. On the 4th spin, he finally pushes his chips forward to target a tight geographic cluster. He chooses 6 specific numbers that sit directly next to each other on the actual physical wheel. The bouncing ball rattles against the metal dividers and perfectly lands inside his predicted strike zone. He wins a massive payout immediately, but shows absolutely zero emotional reaction to the sudden wealth. He calmly stacks his newly acquired chips while the surrounding players whisper about his incredible luck. But there is absolutely no luck involved in this calculated mathematical execution. The dealer spins again, and Tosa slightly adjusts his mental calculations based on the new launch speed. He bets on a slightly different cluster of adjacent numbers and watches the physics unfold perfectly again. He hits a second consecutive victory, and the growing pile of chips in front of him multiplies rapidly. People are now actively staring at his strange and highly successful betting patterns. The sharp casino pit boss notices the unusual winning streak and slowly walks over to investigate. He stands directly behind the dealer and closely monitors the quiet Croatian man sweeping the board. The security expert desperately looks for any hidden communication devices or illegal cheating tools. But he only sees a calm man using his pure intellect to legally drain the casino vault. After an hour of calculated dominance, Tosa is up over £30,000 in pure profit. He subtly signals his hidden associates, and they seamlessly rotate their tactical positions across the floor. One associate sits at table 7, while Tosa moves to conquer a brand new wheel elsewhere. They multiply their financial damage by executing the exact same physics strategy simultaneously across multiple games. By 2 a.m, the brilliant trio decides to gracefully end their extremely profitable evening. They cash out their massive mountain of plastic chips and collect exactly £100,000. They have successfully proven that human intelligence can absolutely defeat the most secure casino environment on Earth. They should take their fortune and completely disappear into the dark London night forever. They hold the ultimate power to simply walk away as undisputed champions of the gambling world. However, human beings are inherently flawed creatures, deeply susceptible to the blinding power of pure greed. They know their brilliant system works flawlessly, and they realize they could easily win 10 times more. They make the fatal and arrogant decision to return for a second night of financial slaughter. March the 16th arrives, and the sun sets over the bustling city of London. Niko Tosa and his 2 quiet associates confidently return to the luxurious Ritz Casino. They walk through the grand entrance with the exact same quiet arrogance as the previous night. However, the atmosphere inside the legendary gambling hall has drastically changed. Tonight is vastly different because the casino management is completely prepared for their arrival. Every single high-definition security camera in the massive building is directly pointed at the returning trio. Elite casino management spent the entire morning frantically reviewing the chaotic security footage from the previous night. They analyzed the impossible betting patterns and realized the cluster bets were far too consistent for pure luck. The entire security team has been fully briefed and ordered to closely monitor every single movement. They are desperately looking for hidden devices or secret communication methods, but they are strictly ordered not to intervene immediately. They need to patiently gather concrete evidence before launching their aggressive trap. Tosa remains completely oblivious to the invisible net tightening around his brilliant mind. He truly believes the previous night was a flawless execution of his mathematical mastery. He plans to dramatically multiply his massive winnings tonight. He takes his seat at a busy roulette table, while his associates silently disperse to their designated operational zones. Tosa instantly falls into his deep state of absolute mathematical concentration as the wheel begins to spin. He calculates the precise velocity of the ivory ball and places his massive bet on 6 clustered numbers. The ball perfectly lands inside his predicted strike zone, and he secures another massive victory. He slightly adjusts his mental equations for the second spin and aggressively bets another calculated cluster. The heavy ball drops exactly where physical laws dictate, and he registers a second consecutive hit. His brilliant mind is absolutely on fire tonight, and the revolutionary method is working even better than before. Perhaps the specific wheel possesses a predictable mechanical bias, or maybe his focus is simply flawless. Regardless of the hidden variables, the quiet Croatian genius is accumulating an absolutely terrifying amount of wealth. After just one single hour of intense concentration, he is up over 200,000 pounds. 2 hours pass, and the massive pile of valuable chips grows to 400,000 pounds. The furious pit boss is now standing merely 3 feet away, with his arms crossed tightly against his chest. Heavy security personnel slowly position themselves strategically around the busy table, like silent predators closing in. Powerful cameras zoom in to record every single micro-expression on the face of the brilliant mathematician. Other wealthy players have completely stopped placing their own bets to witness this incredible financial slaughter. They simply stand in stunned silence and watch Tosa win spin after predictable spin. This unbelievable winning streak completely defies the fundamental laws of normal casino operations and pure probability. Everyone knows something truly extraordinary is happening right in front of them, but nobody understands the mechanism. 3 hours pass, and Tosa has miraculously acquired 800,000 pounds in pure untraceable profit. His hidden associates are also quietly destroying the house at their respective tables across the crowded floor. The combined financial damage from the 3 men rapidly approaches a staggering 1 million pounds. Elite casino management is currently hiding inside a secure back office, frantically analyzing the live video feeds. They are desperately hunting for the invisible technological trick that is completely ruining their profitable night. 4 intense hours pass, and Tosa reaches an astronomical 1.2 million pounds in total winnings. Combined with the massive profit from the previous night, they have officially reached 1.3 million. Tosa possesses enough pure logic to know he should absolutely stop playing and leave the building immediately. This staggering amount of money is more than enough to secure multiple lifetimes of extreme luxury. But the intoxicating thrill of absolute victory clouds his perfect judgment, and he demands one final spin. He places his heavy chips on 6 numbers and watches the white ball drop into his winning pocket. The angry pit boss violently leans down and aggressively whispers something into the ear of the dealer. A senior floor supervisor immediately turns away and makes an urgent phone call to the authorities. Tosa completely ignores the dangerous commotion and silently prepares his mental equations for the next spin. Suddenly he hears the heavy footsteps of multiple people aggressively approaching him from behind his chair. He slowly turns around and sees 3 stern men wearing sharp suits instead of casino security uniforms. These are elite officers from the Metropolitan Police, and they demand he come with them immediately. Tosa maintains his terrifyingly calm demeanor and quietly stares directly into the eyes of the arresting officers. They loudly declare he is under arrest on strict suspicion of using illegal electronic devices to cheat. The entire casino erupts into absolute chaos as shocked patrons watch the unprecedented police raid unfold. His 2 quiet associates are simultaneously ambushed and aggressively arrested at their respective tables across the room. Tosa slowly stands up and calmly places his hands behind his back to accept the heavy metal handcuffs. The aggressive police officers immediately confiscate his massive mountain of valuable chips and seize his personal belongings. He does not resist the overwhelming force or attempt to argue with the angry casino management team. He simply walks through the crowded gambling floor in absolute silence, while hundreds of people take pictures. The brilliant man who broke the unbreakable casino is now officially heading straight into a dark interrogation room. March the 17th arrives, with cold certainty inside the Metropolitan Police Station in London. It is 4 in the morning, and Niko Tosa is standing before a massive medical machine. The authorities are not just scanning his personal belongings or his tailored clothing tonight. They are performing a full-body forensic X-ray to uncover his absolute darkest secrets. Desperate investigators firmly believe he must have something highly illegal surgically hidden on his person. They suspect a microscopic microchip or a tiny computer is safely tucked away beneath his flesh. The brilliant device must explain how an ordinary man won over £1 million in 2 days. They aggressively scan his expensive shoes and his luxury leather belt. The forensic technicians meticulously examine the digital imaging, looking for any trace of hidden circuitry. They hunt for small lithium batteries or microscopic wiring woven deep into the fabric of his coat. But the sophisticated scanners reveal absolutely nothing except simple leather and standard metal buckles. The increasingly frustrated police officers immediately escalate their intense technological investigation. Elite cyber specialists forcefully seize his mobile phone and completely disassemble the device on a sterile table. They carefully remove the internal battery and inspect the fragile circuit board under extreme magnification. They are desperately searching for hidden wireless transmitters or heavily modified communication chips. But the thorough examination proves it is merely a standard consumer mobile phone. They aggressively tear apart his expensive mechanical watch, suspecting it might be a disguised miniature computer. The intricate gears and tiny springs are violently separated and inspected for any digital anomalies. They find absolutely no hidden technology or secret recording mechanisms inside the elegant timepiece. His leather wallet is ruthlessly sliced open to check for hidden storage compartments. In separate interrogation rooms down the cold hallway, his 2 quiet associates face the exact same nightmare. These mysterious men completely refuse to answer any aggressive questions about their relationship with the mastermind. They immediately demand legal representation and choose to remain absolutely silent under extreme pressure. The furious detectives simply cannot break their ironclad psychological defenses. The forensic teams subject the 2 unknown associates to the identical grueling physical and digital inspections. They search for any invisible communication equipment that would explain their highly synchronized betting patterns. The authorities desperately need to understand how 3 different men coordinated massive wins across multiple tables. The ultimate result remains incredibly humiliating for the defeated police force. They find absolutely 0 electronic devices and 0 illegal technology across all 3 arrested suspects. They only possess a staggering amount of casino chips and completely clean criminal records. Days slowly turn into weeks as police systematically raid the luxurious hotel rooms of the gambling trio. They tear through expensive luggage looking for hidden radios or complex probability scanners. Months pass by as desperate prosecutors consult with elite gambling fraud investigators and casino security specialists. They endlessly analyze the confiscated items, but constantly arrive at the exact same infuriating conclusion. There is absolutely no physical trace of any electronic assistance utilized during the massive heist. However, the furious executives at the Ritz Casino refuse to surrender their lost fortune. The wealthy casino bosses aggressively pressure the authorities to file severe criminal fraud charges against the men. But the frustrated police department is completely stuck in a terrible legal nightmare with no escape. They know something truly extraordinary occurred on that casino floor, but they cannot prove a crime. You simply cannot arrest a human being for possessing superior mathematical intellect. Elite lawyers meticulously review the strict United Kingdom gambling laws, searching for any possible legal loophole. The rigid legislation clearly dictates that utilizing electronic devices to cheat at gambling is strictly illegal. But Tosa and his highly disciplined associates never used a single piece of electronic equipment. So what specific law did this brilliant Croatian physicist actually break? The massive criminal investigation completely stalls out over the next 9 agonizingly slow months of legal debates. The Crown Prosecution Service finally makes a shocking public announcement in late December that stuns the world. They are officially dropping all criminal charges against Niko Tosa and his 2 mysterious associates. The massive legal case is permanently closed without a single trial. The official reason for this massive surrender is the absolute lack of any illegal criminal activity. The police department wasted 9 entire months and endless resources hunting for a technological ghost. The law simply does not care about brilliant betting systems or flawless mental math strategies. The rigid legal system only punishes the illegal use of hidden electronic devices. The elite management team at the Ritz Casino is left completely humiliated and incredibly furious. They know Tosa did not just get incredibly lucky over those 2 devastating nights of gambling. but they have absolutely no legal case to reclaim their stolen £1.3 million. The Croatian genius defeated their unbreakable system completely fair and absolutely square. The defeated police officers are legally forced to return every single confiscated item to the three suspects. They hand back the disassembled phones and the expensive watches along with the massive mountain of cash. Niko Tosa calmly walks out of the cold police station as a completely free man. He carries 0 criminal records and over £1 million in profit. He cemented his eternal legacy as the ultimate mastermind who legally robbed a billion-dollar casino empire. He proved to the entire world that the spinning roulette wheel is never truly random. It is simply a beautiful display of physical laws, waiting to be mathematically conquered. And if you understand the underlying physics, you can absolutely beat the house.